We see leaves. We see orange. We see brown. We see leaves on the ground. We see yellow. We see red. We see leaves above our head.
Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. I am different. I know that. And walking this path, I figured out that each step is an amazing accomplishment, and the steps of a regular person is just a fly on the road. But being different is not different. Being different is being beautiful. Being different is being the most amazing person you have ever seen. Being different is being who you are. And I am as me as I can be. If you look around, you'll see that I stick out. Like a bat in a family of wolves. Like a flower and lots of trees. Like human beings and human beings. And it's hard to keep yourself when everyone around you is changing, when all you can do is blame the world for making you this way. But what way? You are who you want to be, and it's really helping to make me see that I am beautiful. I am my own princess rock star. I don't fit in, but I do belong. I don't make friends, but I have myself. I don't cry too much, but I do write poetry. Being who I am aware of the world more. I'm aware that my class is splitting up around me, and I don't care. I got myself. I got others out there who are dealing with the same thing. I got me, an amazing heart healer, a person who is willing to hold a place in her heart for a beautiful looking leaf, someone who will dance her whole life, someone who can entertain herself for hours. I got me. I got me. I got Lila.
Hey, we've got a great poem for you tonight.
But first, let me take a selfie.
Kids these days have low self-esteem, turning to technology to get the reassurance they need.
Kids these days can get any information they want with the touch of a button.
Kids these days just want the quick answer, the easy solution.
The road most traveled.
The one with AC, green grass,
Maybe snacks.
and Wi-Fi.
Lots and lots of Wi-Fi.
Kids these days, they're
Overstimulated.
impatient, self-entitled,
Lazy.
apathetic, individualistic,
And most of all,
unprepared for the real world. I was born in the wrong generation.
I hear it all the
I
time.
see it all the time.
We think we were born in the wrong generation.
So desperate to not be attached to our own age, we become nostalgic for a time we've never known.
We've grown up in a world where technology is always by our side, easily adapting to the ever-changing ways of computers and iDevices.
But for some people who haven't grown up with the constant updates, it's scary. Which makes sense. How could you be anything but scared of something you don't understand? Which makes it easy to insult kids these days because you don't understand us.
And frankly, we don't understand you. But hey, we're just a quick Google search away from becoming one step closer.
By the time you've picked up that giant encyclopedia you keep talking about, we'll have the answers to the next 10 questions that pop into our heads. And as Kofi Annan once said,
Information is liberating.
until we become informed about all the problems the generation before us is facing.
Until we realize that our generation is expected to solve the problems that you've created.
From the time we can open a web browser, we're aware that our help is needed. Working towards our own bright future is no longer for self-growth, but rather for the sake of our community.
So while we're going green,
Ending the global food crisis, destroying the patriarchy,
promoting LGBT plus equality,
fixing the economy, recognizing racial inequalities,
and planting some goddamn trees,
we'll always remember the generation that raised us, the generation that created the world around us, the world we now occupy.
We'll always remember
Self-entitled
those
and
kind
patient
words that you
individualistic.
said to us.
So when you criticize our generation,
Never forget who raised us.
And To our generation?
To our fellow kids these days?
Don't let them stop you from taking selfies. From sending Snapchats of your amazingly pretty Starbucks drinks.
From watching Vines.
Huddle around those tiny screens and enjoy each drop of laughter those 6 seconds bring. Don't let them stop you from loving what belongs to our generation. If we want the best of our time, we have to realize that putting ourselves down won't do us any good.
We were born in this time.
We get to make this time.
Don't let the generations before us make us wish we were born in their time.
So, next time I need to charge my phone, I'll use the air in your head to power a wind turbine, simultaneously saving our ozone layer while communicating with my thumbs.
Which, contrary to popular belief, is not the only way we can communicate.
So next time you need me to fix your Wi-Fi, I'll make sure to take my sweet time. 'Cause I could have your Hotmail up and running in 10 seconds flat.
But I'd like to prove that our attention span does actually last longer than 15 seconds.
And remember to take pride in our title.
Because they don't call us the kids these days for nothing.
From Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. A child said, "What is grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift in remembrancer, designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners, that we may see and remark and say, "Whose?" Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white. Canuck, Tuckahoe, Congressman Cuff, I give them the same, I receive them the same. And now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hair of graves. Tenderly will I use you, curling grass. It may be you transpire from the breasts of young men. It may be if I had known them, I would have loved them. It may be you are from old people, or from offspring taken soon out of their mother's laps. And here you are, the mother's laps. This grass is very dark to be from the white heads of old mothers, darker than the colourless beards of old men, dark to come from under the faint red roofs of mouths. Oh, I perceive, after all, so many uttering tongues, and I perceive that they do not come from the roofs of mouths for nothing. I wish I could translate the hints about the dead young men and women, and the hints about old men and mothers, and the offspring taken too soon out of their laps. What do you think have become of the young and old men? What do you think have become of the women and children? They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows that there is really no death. And if ever there was, it led forward life, and it does not wait at the end to arrest it, and ceased the moment life appeared. All goes onward and outward. Nothing collapses, and to die is different from what anyone supposed, and luckier. I believe a leaf of grass is no less than a journey work of the stars. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the earth.